Welcome to Excel Essentials for Beginners. In this video, we'll be analyzing monthly sales data as we explore some of the basic functions and formulas in Microsoft Excel. If you want to learn how to analyze your data like a pro, let's go. If we need to calculate the total sales for all months across all stores, we need to use the SUM function. In this scenario, the best practice is to leave a blank row before our total row. Then we need to click in the cell where we want the answer to go. When we type equals, this tells Excel we want to build a formula. And for this formula, we want to use one of Excel's built-in functions. Start typing the name and then use the up and down arrows to move through the menu. Highlight the SUM function and then on our keyboard, press the Tab key to select it. Anytime we use one of Excel's functions, it will come with a pair of brackets. And inside the brackets, we need to fill in the arguments for that particular function. And for the SUM function, we just need to specify which numbers we want to add up. We can simply drag our mouse across the range of numbers in this column, and Excel will display the first cell through the last cell separated by a colon. Then we need to close the brackets for the function, and when we're ready to see the result, simply press enter on our keyboard. Now in this cell here, we want to know the total number of units that have been sold. We're still going to use the SUM function, but this time we'll build the formula using the insert function wizard. And notice that when we click this button, Excel drops an equal sign into the cell. And as we learned in the previous step, the equal sign means we're building a formula. Do a search for the SUM function. There's a helpful description down the bottom there. And just like before, we can simply drag our mouse across the range of cells. And when we click OK, boom, there's our result. One of the main advantages of using functions and formulas is that when the data changes, the result of the formula will automatically update. When we insert new records, Excel will adjust the formulas and expand the range accordingly. The result of each formula updates. Imagine we're analysing the monthly sale figures, but we're only interested in the total sales for individual or specific months. Now, because there's a condition with this question, we need to use the SUMIF function. Click in the cell where we want the answer to appear, equals to start building a formula, start typing the name of the function, and this time we need to choose the SUMIF function. With this function, we need to satisfy 3 different arguments within the brackets, and each of these arguments is separated by commas. Now if the condition or criteria is going to be January, that means the range has to be the column that might contain the word January. That will be column C. Then we need a comma to move us to the next argument. The criteria, also known as the condition, we need to wrap this in quotation marks. Another comma to move to the next argument, and SUMIF is asking, which column do you want me to add up? In other words, I'm looking in column C, I found 2 rows that are equal to January, and now I can add up the numbers for these 2 rows, but I need to know which column to add up. This is known as the sum range, which in this case will be column D. In this cell here, we want to know how many units were sold in the month of February. We'll use the insert function wizard, do a search for SUM, and choose the SUMIF function. There's the 3 arguments that we need to satisfy. Now sometimes we might find it more logical to complete the criteria box first. That will be February inside quotation marks. The range is the column that could potentially contain the criteria. And the sum range will be a column that contains numerical data. In this case, the units sold column. Now suppose we need to answer this specific question. What is the average monthly sales figure across all months throughout the year? In Microsoft Excel, there is a built-in function named average, and this function will calculate the arithmetic mean of a range of cells. Once we've selected the function, we need to drag our mouse across our range, close the brackets, and press enter on our keyboard. If we have another question that is even more specific, such as what is the average number of units sold in the month of March, we need to consider that such a question has a condition, also known as a criteria. We need to use the AVERAGEIF function. The range is the month column, the criteria is the month of March, and this is wrapped in quotation marks. The average range has to be a column with numerical data, and in this case, it will be the units sold. Congratulations, you've learned essential Excel functions and formulas for analyzing monthly sales data. With these skills, you can perform basic calculations and gain valuable insights to drive business decisions. Keep practicing and explore the other Excel videos on my channel.